All right, I got another topic. Since we were talking about war in the last video, I thought, why not talk about diplomacy, and maybe potential business. So there's so much that I can talk about this. There's some really important things to consider when we're talking about diplomacy, and I guess we would call it international or business relations or international business relations. Let's come up with. So I have some things that I generally have talked about in the past. I talked about Venezuela. Venezuela is supposed to have the highest amount of oil or natural gas or oil or whatever it is. I believe it has the highest amount in all of the Americas. But if that's not true, then at least in South America or Latin America as a whole, the most oil is found in Venezuela. Venezuela has done horribly when it comes to, just as a country and economically. It's done horribly for the past, I think, 5 or 6 or 7 years, or 5 or 6 years. There's a hunger issue in Venezuela, and what's happening is that Venezuela shares a border with Colombia, and a lot of the hungry people are going into Colombia. They can't buy food, and all they're doing is taking the clothes on their back, some important belongings, and literally just crossing over into Colombia. Yeah, so Venezuela is supposed to do really bad despite having this high amount of natural gas or oil. Another country that had a high amount of natural gas and oil was Iraq. Again, Iraq did horribly. Under Saddam, not under Saddam, Iraq has had a bad record with the economy. Venezuela is in really bad. I mean, Venezuela is maybe one of the most worst off countries in all of the Americas, despite having the highest amount of whatever it's called, black gold, oil. Okay, let's call it gas. Iraq is in horribly too. At one point, Iraq invaded Kuwait. And believe me, if they would have gotten Kuwait, they wouldn't have stopped there. They would have wanted all those countries that are so rich, rich just overall and with oil. Obviously, they were stopped by the Allied forces, by the West. They had stopped Iraq coming into that. But the point is that just because a country has a lot of natural gas and oil doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an amazingly economically well-off country, judging by Iraq and Venezuela. Now, we know that the Gulf Corporation countries, which is like Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, I think there's a couple more. But these countries are doing phenomenally when it comes to economics. First of all, when initially the British and the Americans wanted to find this black gold, they went to these countries, they found the gold, they found that they were rich in natural gas, and they made a deal with them economically that we can bring our engineers and everything over here. And that's when the expats have been coming since that time. I don't know how long, it's been a long ass time. So they were like, we can bring our engineers and everything. We can extract the oil. We can take care of everything. You can trade it to us, and we'll buy it from you on top of that. But you got to give us a good price. Now, this Gulf Corporation has done very good business wise. All right, their business skills are very good, to be very honest. Their diplomacy and international business skills are really good. They know how to kind of carry respect and integrity. And I don't think they get credit for that at all. People assume that these guys are just playboys with no skills and no life or no, whatever. And these guys are just playboys. They just came into money. They don't know shit. The Americans and British did everything, and they don't do shit at all. And they got expats working in their countries because they don't want to do any work or anything like that. That's not true. But I will tell you that business-wise, these guys are very good at business. They are very good at business. Just the way that they behave in their country shows you that they're doing very well. When I went to Dubai, when I thought about these guys, also in Dubai, they all dress similar, but in Dubai, the dress is all white with a white headgear, with a black, kind of like a headband. I don't know what you call it, but it's like a headband, and it's the white thing on the head, and it's all white clothes for the men. Okay, they're all similar in these countries, but this one in particular is like that. So I go to the mall, one of the first days when I get there, And I go to Dubai Mall, which is the largest mall in the world, and I see these guys, and I'm looking at them. I'm studying them to see how they behave. I see them and quite respectful, quite low key, to be honest. I mean, they're very noticeable, dressed in all white. Everybody's noticing them because there's a lot of foreigners. There's a lot of people in Dubai Mall, man. People who are traveling back and forth from the Orient, Europe, Australia, North Africa, whatever it is, Middle East. They always stop in Dubai to go shopping in Dubai Mall. There's a lot of foreigners who are just there for maybe 3 or 4 days or a week in Dubai Mall. So you got all these foreigners, and they're clearly looking at these people. They're looking at these people. Everyone's looking at them. The attention's on them. Even though nobody's like this, people are just kind of, just barely noticing, but definitely noticing. And they carry themselves quite respectfully. I gotta say, they got points for that. They got points because they carried themselves very respectfully. Just another day for them. Just another day in the mall to enjoy, have some company, have a good time. And that's all it is. It wasn't the image that we expect. It was not the image. Although there are people like that in Dubai, young, they're young and they were born and raised in Dubai, even though they may be foreigners or whatever the deal is. But there's like, just what I mean. Now everybody, not to be fair, everybody like if you go into a British restaurant and there's a young rich British guy sitting there, he might start being a bit disrespectful towards the service in the restaurant, right? You might see that. But the point is that they behave very respectfully in public, very respectfully. You almost get the feel, it's if it was just about gas and oil, how come Venezuela isn't a big, rich country and Iraq and everything? Why aren't they big, rich countries if it was just about resources? The fact is that they have very good international business skills and diplomacy skills. And they've been dealing with the West for, 60 years, is it? 60, 70 years? And they've been doing a really good job, right? At least 60, 70 years. And they have a great relationship with them. They have a great business relationship with them. Everybody knows that they can be trusted when it comes to business. Everybody knows that you can trust their dollar. You can trust their money. You can trust these guys' money, and everybody knows that they're reasonable. They're reasonable business people to deal with. Everybody likes dealing with them. Expats love coming to Dubai, man. Dubai is full of expats. They got a lot of expats in Saudi Arabia. They got a lot of expats all over the Gulf Corporation, or Gulf Corporation nations, we should say. So we know that's going on, right? And that's what I try to tell people. They don't understand that. But diplomacy and business skills are very important. International business skills and diplomacy is very important. What did Colombia have? Colombia didn't have anything really significant. But I went to Medellin in 2014. I went to the south as well, and I went to Medellin. And at that time, Medellin had just started picking up. They had just started a boom with international business, specifically with America. A lot of American businessmen were coming to Medellin. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on there now. Like I said, your internet, everything matters. Your integrity, the way you carry yourself, and it shows too. People misunderstand. Sometimes you look at like even me, I was only at level 1, but I was treated so highly when it came to integrity. Even though I was at level 1. The thing was that I never gave up my integrity. My integrity and my personality and my nature stayed the same. No matter how hard things got, I didn't change up. So my integrity was like integrity points. I was earning way less being at level 1, but really it was just off the hook, man. It was absolutely off the hook. It was something that people felt and were amazed by. Thinking that, what's wrong with this guy? Why did he rob a bank? Because he could have damn well done political science or something and become a politician easily. Even with his limited vision and his limited mind, he could have, with the level of integrity he had, he could have become a judge, man. You know what I mean? He could have become a politician. Maybe not a judge, but he could have become a high-class politician, man. People would have really supported him. Would have had a lot of respect, man. You know what I mean? But that's over. I got a different life and I'm a different type of person. Not necessarily when I talk about people, am I talking about people who are like me, specifically. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I don't need to only talk about people who are like me. You know, I'll be talking about my bones all day long, man. But I'm talking about different people in different places and different things and different styles, right? Anyways, I'm done. I will say good afternoon.